Now, folks, you know, we're going to go from the gold market, and you know we're going to go? We're going to go to BacTech Green. Okay, we have our man, Mr. Ross Auerbach. Ross is the CEO of BacTech Green. You can come over to our website at tfnn.com. You'll see the BacTech banner. Hit that banner. If you happen to watch Tiger TV, I have BacTech up right now, and I'm looking at this beautiful plant that was in China. That is in China. Pretty amazing. Ross, welcome back to TFNN.
Thanks, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great. Man, that is a heck of a plant, man. And, folks, Ross is the website, okay, is bactechgreen.com. And the BacTech trades in Canada under the symbol BAC. That is pretty cool, man. So, you know, give us an update of what's going on, Ross.
Well, first of all, you mentioned the website. We just posted a video today that we had done in Vancouver over the last few months, and it's a 2-minute video, so it's good for everybody's attention span. And it's entitled, What is Bioleaching? So we've done a computer-generated 2-minute video on the bioleaching process, and it's pretty good, I have to admit. They did a great job. So if you go to the front page of the website, on the right-hand side, you'll see the icon there that you can click on.
I just put it up, and we'll make sure we get a link on it on our site. I just put it up. Oh, this is resource intelligence. That's right. That's a beautiful thing. Okay, cool. Well, as you're talking, they're going to be watching this.
Yeah.
Our bugs eat rocks.
It's our slogan.
That's a good one. So, hey, so tell me, you know, the Micon study. Tell me about that.
Well, as you know, we signed an agreement with the Manitoba government to clean up a 300,000-ton stockpile of arsenopyrite, which is basically arsenic and gold. And the deal was we get to keep the gold for cleaning up the mess. So for somewhere around $20 million in capital, we'll build a bioleach plant and reprocess that pile. And the deal is we get to keep the gold. And at today's prices, you've got probably about $160 million worth of gold in there. That'll be a 7-year process, but in addition to that, we will then look for additional material in the area. Central Manitoba's had a lot of mining history. So Micon is a group that we brought in. It's an engineering company to do the economic study. We know what our numbers are. They're going to now do their numbers to verify.
Right. Now, it seems that when they're doing this, you feel that the plant is going to be able to be much closer than you originally thought, right?
Yeah, we originally, it's such a landlocked area. Hud Bay, Lexus, they own most of the surface rights, and so all the local town could give us was a site about six kilometers away. That's about 4 miles, I guess. And when we went back to do our publication, where we literally rented the town hall and had half the town out to listen to what we want to do, we were told by one of the counselors that a site had opened up literally right next door to the pile. So it eliminates trucking. We can start pipelining most of this material, making a slurry and moving it into the plant and then moving it out into tailings. So, I think it knocks about $750,000 a year off the operating costs of the trucking alone. And
in this context, I mean, the community wants this done, right? Because there's poison there, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was a love-in. I mean, I went in there with the full-on goalie mask, expecting to have an uprising, but I got more resumes than complaints, put it that way.
Okay.
It was, I mean, it's been sitting there for 55 years, and they want it out of there. So along we come to not only offer jobs, but also, clean up the problem and remediate it. And along the way, we've attracted the interest of a company called New Alta, which is it's probably one of Canada's largest oil and gas reclamation companies. Revenues are probably $700 million plus. They've given us $300,000 for the study, for the right to sit at the table to determine if this is a business they want to be in. And if they do, I'm happy to have them as a partner going forward, because they're a lot bigger, and it'll just mean raising debt's a lot easier for the plants, et cetera, et cetera.
I was reading an interesting story this morning, Ross, and what it was about is the guy that actually got fracking to the point that people could make money hand over fist on it. He was in that business, and he was pushing it for over 5, 6, 7 years until he finally got it to the point that it just turned into a monster, meaning a money-making monster. It's kind of interesting what you're doing with this. I was thinking about you this morning, because once this catches on, I mean, cleaning up poison, and basically government's giving you that, which would make sense, by the way. It's possible that you could be onto something that's much larger.
Well, they love the no cost to the taxpayer approach. I mean, there's been other governments, two I can think of in South America, I won't name them, but have been in contact with our government to talk to Manitoba to say what's going on, why, what's the process here, how can they do this for no cost to the government. And the reality is not every tailings project can do that, but the ones that can are the ones that we're obviously very interested in.
And so the ones that can, let me just go through this. So the ones that can would be older ones that the mills wouldn't have got as much gold out, and so you understand that there's more gold in those tailings. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, it's a strange concept because in the efforts of a lot of these mining companies in the old days to try and get a minimum grade of metal into their concentrates for smelters, they left a lot behind.
Right.
And in the case of this particular project in Manitoba, 15% of what they produced was this really nasty arsenopyrite. So
okay.
Instead of doing something with it at the time, they said just put it over there and we'll figure it out later. Well, later is 55 years, and now you've got acid and arsenic, basically coming out of the piles and into the lake. So not a great thing to have in your backyard.
Yeah. And it must have been pretty cool when people were mining that way, is that you could leave that extra stuff. Well, I guess of course at that point it was $35 an ounce versus $1,700 an ounce now, right?
And there was no EPA, there was no mining watch. I mean, people just did what they wanted to do. And you know what? You can't blame them for it if no one's there to tell you.
Oh yeah. Well, there's probably no people there either, right?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, so for all you folks in the Florida area. I know I'm talking with Ross right now, and I believe I'm talking right from the Gaylord Palms. Are you getting set up at the World Money Show now?
No, I wish I'm not there yet. Actually, I'm going through Philadelphia on Thursday, and I'm getting there Friday morning. But but my other guy is going down tomorrow to set up for the show. So
okay, you're working, and then you're going to go. So Ross is going to be at the Money Show, folks. You can come by. You can come by, see his presentation. There's a whole presentation. We'll have that presentation, by the way, online also, right at TFNN. And then you're going to Bolivia right after that, right?
To Bolivia. There's an example of a government that is interested in this whole concept, and of course they've been mining there for well over 100 years. Let's face it, it's a different sort of country right now, but that's usually where the most value is, when you find places where no one else wants to go.
Yeah, listen, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. And well, it's kind of unique in what you're doing, and this really comes back to what you're doing here. There's not a lot of folks that can do that have your technology, right?
No, there's really only two of us.
Okay.
And of course, the other elephant in the room is Goldfields, and they're not interested in cleaning up 100,000 ounces of gold in Manitoba.
Right.
I sure am.
Right.
It makes a huge impact on my balance sheet. It makes no impact on theirs at all. So, I mean, we're looking at just numbers from off the tops of our head. Our anticipated cash flow is probably double what our market cap is today.
Right.
Now, the biggest issue I have is that I'm on a very small exchange in Canada. I've got to get down to the QX, because when we go to shows down in Chicago and San Francisco,
yeah, you do.
People love it. They love the story, but then as soon as you tell them where you trade, they kind of go, oh,
yeah,
not interested.
Well, because it will also, I mean, you have this partner now, and then you also have, doesn't Humana have a piece of you too?
Humana owns a piece of us, and Baker Steel out of London, England owns about 15% of us.
Okay.
We're
so that's a good partnership, man.
They're good partners, and again, I think they're sort of watching to see, because things that people don't realize is that really a mining company should almost use this technology on the back end of their process before they put stuff into the tailings. Take the sulfides out now and don't have to worry about longer term issues.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
It's like turning around the Titanic. So
because what does happen? Can you explain to the folks? Because what does happen? You can build these sites, right? And then can you take the site down and then go build it somewhere else too?
No, you'd probably build a site, and then what you would do is you'd have sort of a mobile flotation plant that would go set up at a tailing site. See, tailings are only made up about 5% of is the sulfides, which is the nasties or the good stuff, depending on which.
I see.
So why move a mountain when you can move 5%?
I got it. It's not the whole. It's not the whole site. It's
no.
Yeah.
And the rest of the stuff can just be left where it is, or maybe put into road fill or whatever you want to do with it. It's just
And so what happens with it? Let's say we get a big pile of dirt, right? Like when you look at that pile of dirt, can you tell what 5% is the bad part?
No, you have to drill it.
I see.
And really what you do is you use what they call a sonic drill, which vibrates its way down. Don't forget, you're going through a sand-like texture, really. And so it's very cheap, and I think in Manitoba we drilled 33 holes in 4 days at a cost of $50,000. I mean, you'd never do that with hard rock drilling.
Right, right. Because this is rock that's already been put up, already crushed. You know.
Well, in the case of the case of Manitoba, which is really makes it unique, it's already a concentrate.
Okay.
So it's already been separated away from the rest of the like the wheat from the chaff, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's why it yields about a third of an ounce a ton. And the stuff, oddly enough, is it's a consistency of almost plasticine. Really weird looking stuff. But we were literally cutting it in half with a knife to split the core, which you'd normally do with a bandsaw if you were mining or drilling hard rock or something.
So what are the next steps you have to do in Manitoba now?
Well, the study will be done probably early April, and
Yes.
then Nualta's got to decide whether or not they want to participate. Interestingly enough, it's our decision. They gave us the money with no strings attached, so if we can't come to a deal that makes us both happy, we're free to walk away and build this on our own.
So it all comes. It all comes down to the financial study that's going to be done. Can you get those tailings out at the right price to make money to finance the whole project? Then, right? Is that the bottom line?
Exactly. And I'm thinking, and I'm talking off the top of my head here, but the Manitoba government or Manitoba Hydro gave us a price of under 3 cents a kilowatt for our power. That's 40% of our cost is
Yes.
power. So that was just unbelievable. I'd be really surprised if it cost us more. I'm stepping out on a limb here. I'm going to say $700 an ounce to produce it.
Well, in this day and age, $700 an ounce is going to be flying, man.
Well, that's $13 million a year in cash flow. For a company with a market cap of about $7.5 million.
No, I'm with you, man. Listen, folks, if you happen to be in Orlando, in Tampa, and Tallahassee, the World Money Show, you're going to be there. It's Thursday. Is it open Thursday night and then Friday and Saturday, right?
It actually goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday this year. Okay, good. Yeah. And as you're there, folks, why don't you come by Friday, because on Friday I'm also going to be there, and I'm going to be signing books from 11:30 to 12 at the Traders Press booth, and of course I'll be over at Ross's booth.
318.
318. That's a beautiful thing. And, come by and say hi, folks. And if you do come by the Traders Press booth, you buy the book off them, you're going to get 2 workshops which are worth $300 free, folks. Okay? So come on by, say hi to Ross. And, of course, for the rest of the world out here, just go to our website, the TFNN. You'll hit the BacTech banner. We'll make sure that, by tomorrow morning, we'll have the video up and we'll have the rest of this up. Well, Ross, you got a lot of great things happening, man, and, you're out there plugging, and it's awesome, man. I mean, it's going to be wild watching this whole thing shake out, man.
I know, it's neat.
It is, man. Well, listen, you have a great night, a safe night, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday.
See you in a few days.
Absolutely, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one. It's BacTech Environmental. Actually, it's BacTech Environmental. The website, folks, is bactechgreen.com.